Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent, close to my heart maker.
This month, the Makers with Heart are participating in the mystery envelope sent from Melanie Giesel. And she sent us an envelope with these fun things, and I actually cut those 2x2 squares down already. They are like a coated cardstock, and she challenged us to use a rainbow palette to make our project. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. She started with these stamps that are from the Rain or Shine Stampin' Thin Cuts, and they are adorable. And I'm also going to use those Swiss Dots embossing folder and stencil. And then I'm also going to bring in a sentiment from the Just Chicken stamp set as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up my card, and I'm going to line all of these little pieces up in rainbow order. And I added one more because I love 7 colors in my rainbow. And these are all like a coated cardstock. They were part of a promotion, maybe even a cardstock carnival a few years back. So I like to start with the top and bottom one and then get a sense of how much I need to space out all of the other pieces before I start gluing everything down. And then once I decide on an approximate amount of spacing, then I'm going to come back and start gluing them on and putting them down, working my way towards the center, if that makes sense. So each month what we've been doing is one person sends a mystery envelope full of goodies to the other participants and gives some sort of challenge. And so this is the last Makers with Heart mystery envelope challenge. So just stay tuned. There's some of us that are going to be starting something new in the future with Close to My Heart going out of business. We will no longer be makers. So Makers with Heart didn't make as much sense. So we thought we would try something new. So if you stay tuned to our channels, there will be a few of us who move over to Stampin' Up, and we will have a new collaboration coming to you soon. So here we go. And we'll still do the mystery envelope because that's just too much fun. So my orange didn't quite meet to the end, so I just trimmed this off a tiny bit so that all of my pieces were nice and flush. And then I'm going to trim off, probably about 1.25 inches off of the front of the panel so that rainbow shines through. Isn't that just a beautiful thing, having that peek through from the inside? Next, I'm bringing in those Swiss Dot stencil and some Capril ink in my blending brush, and I'm tapping off and just going to do a little bit of the Swiss Dot. I thought that was absolutely perfect to go with this whole rain boot theme because it looks like rain. So I thought I'd use the Capri ink and the Swiss Dots and kind of simulate a little bit of rain. And then I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use these pieces. I was trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate that umbrella, and it's a big umbrella. So without making it the full focal point, I just don't think I can make it fit, but I'm sure I'll use it on a project soon. I do love the rain boots, and I love the flowers. And so I thought I would use the rain boots as kind of a planter with those flowers coming out. I thought, yeah, that's fun. So I think I need a few more of those Swiss Dots up towards the top so that it can go behind my sentiment. So I put a few more dots up top, and then I'm bringing in my sentiment that just says Welcome Spring, and I'm using my Flamingo ink, and I always like to test it one time, make sure I'm getting a good stamp impression, and then I'm going to put that over those little Swiss dots, and it just looks adorable. So next I need to bring in those rain boots, and I think I'm going to bring in that Swiss Dot embossing folder, and I'm going to try a technique. So the inside of the cover that has all the little bumps on it, I'm going to ink it up with that same Flamingo stamp pad, and I'm going to put my boots inside, run it through my die cutting and embossing machine, and it pushed down little pink dots all over the boots. Is that not adorable? Then I'm going to mask off those boots, and come back in with that Flamingo ink and just make the foot part of those boots a little bit of a pink shade. I think that looks adorable, and I'm going to pop this up with some 3D foam tape. That way those flowers can really bloom out from the inside. So I'm trying to decide on the placement, and those flowers are kind of covering up that sentiment. So the perfect thing to do is to cut the image so that you can tuck some of it down in. Don't you like how you can cut these images and manipulate them? You just follow the lines for the flowers and it tucks down in there so perfectly. So then I bring in my Colorista colored pencils, and I use the light green on the tiny little leaves, and I wanted another darker shade to do the next size leaf, and then I bring in the darkest green and go into the center of those leaves, and I just did a little bit of shading, not too much, and then I come in with my different colors, and I like that rainbow color palette, so I kind of stuck with that color palette to color all of these flowers. So you will see purples and blues and yellows and oranges and pink. I'm not sure if that's a flamingo pink or what that cardstock is. It's the only one that's not coated, but I just like the pink on there. And then the reds, I use all the colors on all these flowers. And you really don't notice that the one cardstock is not coated. It was just out of my scrap bucket. That's why I'm not sure of the color. But I had originally thought that I would stamp a sentiment on that particular stripe of the rainbow. But then I changed my mind and I went a whole different direction. But that's all right. I just kind of made it mine. So I just keep coloring these up and give all different shades. I did lighter pinks and darker pinks, and I have brighter purples, and some of them look a little bit more intense depending on how much pressure you use when you're coloring all the different flowers. And then at some point I decide that those little boots have some straps at the top, and I do eventually go back and shade those pink, and I just use my colored pencils. I didn't try to use the blending brush on that. You see how that bends? So I'm putting some adhesive here, and then the top part I'm putting some 3D foam tape. That way it will be the same level as the boots. So this will adhere to the front of the boots where I put adhesive, and some of the leaves will stick straight down onto the card front, and any adhesive that was still on the back, I didn't think about how it popped over. I just used that rub and remove eraser. And here you see I'm shading in those little straps on the boot, and then I bring in one of my Spectrum Noir metallic, I think it was the gold plate marker, and I use that on the little thing that holds the strap to the boots, because sometimes those are like metal or something like that. And then I'm shading in those boots. The rubber part on the bottom I thought needed to be a little bit darker. Then there was a spot that didn't stamp so well, so I always just kind of cheat and use my journaling pens and coat that in. Now this is the part that I really think finishes off the card perfectly. So I grabbed a couple of my liquid pearls. I grabbed a light blue, it's probably like Robin's Egg blue or something like that, and I grabbed this lavender as well, and I put this on the very center of some of those flowers, and then as another little accent thing as well. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and you hit that bell to turn on all the notifications so you'll be notified every time I upload a crafty video. Please leave me a sweet comment below and share this video with your crafty friends as well. It's free, why not share it? Have a great day.